So I have here with me a very special guest, a very, very true friend of mine, a great individual, great human being, a great salesperson, the lone wolf, Mr. Charlie Cervantes. How you doing, brother?
Hey man, how are you? I'm so happy to be here, and not that I'm a lone wolf per se, but I do have methods and ways for me to do what I love, that is selling. And of course, if in between I can help people, then everything comes to the right place, I think. So, how
Well,
are you?
I call you the lone wolf for a very interesting reason. I remember actually when I was there in La Paz, this last time, and I first started working in Process Maker. JP, my old boss, lended me a book. I don't remember the name of the book. I think it was like the
The
seven.
Challenger Sale.
Yeah, that one. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So in that book, they were explaining the different profiles that there is for selling. There's like the team person that works with the team. There's like the guy who concentrates on numbers. Then there's like the nice guy who tries to make a relationship. There's the guy who just gets straight to the point, and there was the lone wolf. The lone wolf, I still remember that because it was the guy who pretty much does stuff on his own, is part of a team, but he does stuff on his own. The rest doesn't know what that guy is doing, but he or her is producing results. And that's a perfect example of what I saw from you when we were working together. You were this incredibly social guy, you know that we rarely talk about work at work. We just talked about how we were. We had like a lot of lunches together, awesome chicken wings. Remember those?
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
they're
and
still
then
good.
and then I remember seeing in the board, and you were always leading in sales and by high numbers. And then I remember one time, like, you were watching a movie, man, you know and my dear colleague, Meg, started criticizing you, like, look at this guy, he doesn't do anything and everything, blah blah blah. And I just stood quiet, and then in my mind it was like, man, yeah, he's chilling, but I don't know, look at the fucking scoreboard, numbers cannot lie. And then until today, that was like 2 years ago, a little bit more, and until today
Right.
you're leading the scoreboard. I'm assuming you're number one in sales in the team, right?
Yeah, actually, last year, even with COVID, I reached the highest numbers for the company. So, and I don't know, it's a mix between not only how you build the relationship with customers, but whenever you have that piece covered, you do have some free time to refocus and then try to get to the next level every time. So if I was, yes, and shame on me, I was watching movies during work time. But at the same time, I just was trying to get my things together in order to make the next move. Basically, sales for me in these past 10 years that have been working with Process Maker, we're more on the sense of understanding how relationships work, how partnerships work, and then of course trying to apply that to different type of scenarios, different type of verticals. And one of the really good things about that was that in between I was learning on how I should act or I should adapt to not only a different culture but different ways of negotiation, and at the same time just needed some additional edge on how to handle those type of situations. And movies are awesome for that,
What movie would
right?
you
So
recommend that would be good for that, like, for example?
a good way of how you can get capable of actually managing situations, people, and scenarios would be The Usual Suspects. It's a movie with Kevin Spacey. So that's, yeah, by far one of the greatest movies I saw on human behavior and how you can plan things and then get shit done, basically. So if you can get to that specific type of mindset, even watching a movie, reading a book, following a specific type of mentor, Tony Robbins shit, all the shebang,
Yes.
right? You can find your way, and eventually you will find something that will help you achieve that type of behavior whenever it's needed. So yeah, I was watching a movie, but it was for intellectual purposes.
No, man, I
Yeah,
get it. Because like one of the things that I noticed in Latin America that everybody, well, not only Latin America, but just this is just my personal experience that everybody is just focused on the amount of work that you have to put on in terms of time. And one of the things that I have learned in my short life, in my short 35 years of life, is that more work time doesn't is not equivalent to efficiency and productivity. Because
correct.
just because you are 12 hours in the office, hypothetically speaking, and in many cases, literally speaking, like I remember you've been in the office over 12 hours. For
Yeah,
example, there's have been days that you've been in the office over 12 hours. But it's unrealistic for our bosses, or at least for my boss at the time, to expect for us to be working every single hour that we are in the office. It's just that's not humanly possible. I mean, it is humanly possible. That's not how it works, though.
yeah,
It's crazy. I never understood their point of view in that sense. Because, like, for example, you are one true example. Like you say, shame on me. I was watching movies, but in the end of the day, you produce results, man. Like you give results, and not only like it's just satisfactory. You like I said at the beginning of this conversation, you are leading the scoreboard in the team, and you have been leading the scoreboard for not months but many years now. So there's
right.
that's why I say the lone wolf. The lone wolf is a legitimate profile of a company man to have. You do your thing. It's like you have your own style, and we know as sales professionals, we know that we have to develop our own style when it comes to selling. I cannot sell like Charlie, and Charlie cannot sell like Lewis. We can try,
Right.
we can be, maybe we can like sell it to like that, but I guarantee you will not be successful. For example, for me, when I started selling, like I was when I started in working, for example, my first job was sales.
Yeah.
I hated it, bro. I fucking hated it. It was awful. And the reason why is because I just didn't know how to sell. They just gave me a script to read. It was a telemarketing position. They just gave me a script to read, and they just told me sell. I'm like, fine. And I would read it word by word, verbatim. No emotion behind it, no nothing. It would sound like
Uh,
a robot, you know. I was constantly getting the phone hang up on me. And one of the things that I noticed is that I would not even get past the hey, hello, how are you? I am this type of person, and I'm here to offer this. Because they would immediately say, no, I'm not interested, and hang up. And the
yeah.
one person who said, okay, go on, I didn't know what to say afterwards, despite of the fact that I had the script in front of me. I completely froze. I was insanely phone shy. And so I hang up the phone. I was like, whoa, what the fuck happened? And then I saw a movie, and that movie motivated me. which was Boiler Room. I don't know if you have seen it.
No, I haven't.
It's it's basically about a scam, right? It's how this I think they're from this this small brokerage firm from New Jersey it started. Everything they were selling ghost stocks, everything was a sham, a scam and everything, but they were earning a lot of money. Why? Because they were not paying taxes and this and that, and it was just insane. But that was not my motivation. My motivation was the way they sold it. They were doing this aggressive sales technique over the phone. And
Okay.
as a telemarketer, my number one sales tool was the telephone, right? And
True.
they showed like how a person developed from the very beginning when that person was really bad at sales and grew and evolved to become the number one person in sales. And that motivated me the fuck out. Like it was insane that the very next day I went to work and I started selling. Well, not selling, but I started getting more confidence in myself, speaking a little bit louder. As you know, that tonality in sales is very important, especially if you're on the phone. You know, and
Yeah.
then after that, I just started selling, 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 and I found in that process, I found my style, and that's the thing that helped me to just produce the numbers that I was expected to produce and even more. Right.
Right.
So like all this is crazy because you get movies like let's say like Wall Street or not the Wolf of Wall Street. That I would say that that's a little bit different, but like Wall Street could, but they just show a person that is already on top. You know what I mean? And this movie that
Right.
I mentioned about Boiler Room, it shows a person that starts from the bottom and gets to the top. So it shows that trajectory. So it's very, very interesting. And I definitely recommend for you to watch it, man.
I will. I think I have. It's with. I just was checking here on Google. It's with Vin Diesel, right? So
Yeah,
I
when he
remember
was
a
the
few. Yeah, I remember a few scenes. So I probably saw it, but I will check it again. If it's sales related, of course, it helps.
it's
Always
sales
helps.
related, man. And then of course you get other movies like Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, great, great
Yeah.
movie and stuff. But this one was the one that made a change in me, that lit that spark. And it was a shame I couldn't show that sales skills when I was working in Process Maker. You know, I really wanted
Yeah.
to, but like there were too many things affecting me at that time that my confidence went out the window, especially during the phone. My I was not phone shy. I was just scared in general of the whole environment I was in, you know.
Yeah.
And that stopped me from just being a good worker, I would say, a good employee and maybe a good colleague. I don't know.
Well, I think that the issue there is that, um, of course, it depends on the type of environment that you're in, to either show your potential or just to hide it because of different type of distractions or noise that you can have within a non-healthy environment, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that your area was kind of complicated with that. So, it's like training in some way, basically, because if you have um, a crappy boss or somebody that is not even empathic with what you are trying to go through because you're starting, you're new, you do have some background, you actually use your background to get to that position. But at the same time, if you have a lot of pressure from day one, it some people take it the good way and some people don't, basically. So at the end, you're going to be tired, you're going to be sore, you're going to be banged up, discouraged, frustrated because you don't have a nice environment.
Correct.
And of course, in time, that's something that you can change. And as you were saying, it doesn't matter how you sell, is the type of results that you're bringing to the company.
Correct.
Yeah. So eventually, they would be in the position of saying, okay, yeah, yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah.
he's going to shed and trust.
And at the same time, I'm pretty sure that not only your direct boss, but the leaders of the company, what's his name? Well, I don't remember his name, but like the leaders of the company where you're working at, they also recognize the value in you. For example, if you were to leave, hypothetically speaking, if you were to leave where you're at right now, I guarantee you that they will cry. And they will not find another person like you unless they're really to release the big bucks to pay for that person. You know what
True.
I mean? Like in my mind, in my eyes, I think you're irreplaceable in that company and in so many ways, not only in sales, in so many ways. You know, and then going back to what you mentioned, for example, about like the pressure. To be honest, I don't mind the pressure. You know, what affected me the most. Well, obviously, it was the fact that I was so desperate to find stability in life,
All right.
insanely desperate to find that made me very weak and made me very scared of every step that I would take at that time. So I arrived again to my country, Bolivia, with fear of what I was going to do. I was expecting a second child, and me and my family, we just moved to another country from Costa Rica. We were very low on funds at that time. And as you may remember, I arrived first to Santa Cruz, and then from Santa Cruz, I moved to La Paz because of the job offer that I got.
Right.
So that was already like a little bit like scary. Is that a beer?
Dude, it's 11:23 here, so fuck off.
No, I'm not.
you
Hey
know,
man, this is vodka, bro, and it's 5
okay,
a.m. here.
it's vodka. Come on.
This Russian vodka, man. If you can
Yeah.
see, this is the old version of
It's
the absolute
it's
bottle.
the Russian vodka.
Russian vodka.
Yeah, Russian vodka. Boishmishka.
Yeah. Going back to what I was saying is that then I had all that fear, and then boom, I arrived to this great company, and that's where we met. And I have to
Yeah,
admit that despite of my experience there, it is a great company because I learned a lot I learned. But it caught me off by surprise the way the boss would treat the team and the way how the teams would get along with other teams.
yeah.
And the gossiping. Oh my lord, the gossiping, man. I felt I was back in high school. All that affected me. And it came to a point that my boss would, because that boss, that guy would scream. He doesn't talk, he screams at his team or at that person when that person doesn't do, I cannot even say doesn't do something right. Is when that person is doesn't do something the way the boss said how to do it. And you have to do it
Yeah.
exactly step by step. So you get screamed at, and on top of that, you most of the times you get screamed on in front of everybody. Like remember that time he was like yelling at me and everything, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's that?" And then you barged in the office and you saved my ass. Like and for the people listening, it's not like you barged in, you're like, hey, no, you were like you came in and you clarified something, and everything, and he got off my ass, but it was like, God damn, bro. And it developed the fear in me that literally I was scared to get up to go to the bathroom at some point. And then it was like my dear colleague Meg all the time against the other team. It was like our team against the whole team within the company. And I didn't understand that. I was like, in my mind, fuck, we're from the same company. We should be, just one big fucking team with different departments.
Of
Support
course.
each other. And I remember that's what I was doing with you. That's what I was doing with Sergio. That's what I was doing with James. We were supporting each other, but it was just like with me. I cannot speak for the other people of the team, but it was just with me because The only thing I will hear for the other people, from my other teammates, is like, nah, man, like it's us. And then them, let's like them, we gotta prove that we're better than them, better than that team. And also those words will not only come out from my teammates, but will come out from my boss as well, you know? And I was like, and I wanted to speak my mind, but I knew if I would speak my mind, I would get backlash at it. So I stood quiet, but I was never on board of team versus team within the company. And that happens a lot. It's not only in this company that happens in so many companies, and that's unfortunate because again, Process Maker is a great fucking company, man. I have to admit it. And I learned so much in Process Maker from those 6 months than what I learned in Costa Rica in 3 years.
Oh,
I guarantee you. Yes. And I learned also from my screaming boss. you know, I did learn from the guy. He knows his shit. He's not the best person in the world when it comes to motivating the team, but he knows his shit. At least I learned.
yeah,
He knows stuff that I didn't know for sure.
true. No, yeah, he has his ways. He hasn't changed at all. It was, yeah, it is funny whenever you try to break the code of how a specific person behaves around a team or around a specific area or something like that. So yeah, he can be complex, and at the same time, whenever you learn how to actually listen behind the words of a frustrated person, so you understand where he's coming from and what he's trying to get and the type of pressure that that person has and everything. So when you try to deal with those situations from their perspective, you also learn at the same time, because you will in some way understand what type of actions you need to present to the table in order for that person to chill,
Yeah.
right? So uh, it happens a lot with my wife. So she has been a teacher as well at the same time, because whenever you have a strong partnership, and God bless her for that, she's amazing in so many levels and ways. If you really want to have that partnership functioning, you need to make the other grow,
Absolutely.
right? So whenever you feel that you're actually not growing in a relationship, that would be a major red flag that something is not working,
Correct.
right? So the same thing happens with everything, actually, with sales, with relationships, with friends, with your parents, with training, fighting, and everything. It will come to that same three bullet points: understanding the other, understanding you, and take action,
Correct.
right? So if you use those elements for every type of situation that you're dealing with, then you have really constructive things. So you create. And if you're creating and you're making the other feel as part of a team or of something that you're building together, then you build confidence. And with confidence, you can sell stones,
That is true. That is true. 100%
right?
there. It's just confidence is key to many things, man. Because let's say what you like in fighting in the industry that I'm in, I used to fight. No matter how physically well I was prepared, if my mind was not right, I would lose that fight.
Correct. It's the mindset.
That's it. Because I could be training like a beast, have the highest stamina of all, have a great technique, but I would be scared mentally. Like that doesn't go. It has to go hand in hand. And confidence is key. Once you get that confidence, then you can reach so many levels and so many things, you know. Because let's say going back to my dear boss, he did try to motivate me, but he did it the wrong way. He was just mentioning the money. Like he would tell me, "You have no idea, Louis, how much money you can make here." And in that at that time, I had no doubt in my mind that you can make good money. And I'm not gonna go here and tell you, man, like money is not a big motivation in life and blah blah blah. Like, yeah, money is needed, but it's not my number one thing that gets me going. It never was. You know, at that time, I was looking for that stability in life, for that security in life, the opportunity that I will grow within that company, you know, that I will learn, that I will take it into consideration, that I will be one of the team. I
Right.
didn't care. Like, the money was not my motivation. And you and I know perfectly well that if you produce good results, you will get compensated well in process maker. Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot complain. And I can compare it to even Amazon that I worked for in Costa Rica. They didn't have that method and compensation, and they will give you 1% of sales, treat you in a very, it's just, it was very different. So in process maker, they give you that opportunity for you to thrive financially, professionally. But unfortunately, my team leader at that time was just focusing on the money. I understand why, but that was not my number one motivation. You know what motivated me? Talking to Alex, for example, talking to James, talking to you motivated me. I needed our talk so much, our Tuesday nights. And to clarify, that sounds weird on Tuesday nights. But for the people out there, our Tuesday nights where you and I would go to the office to work at 8 p.m. and stay there until midnight. And
Sure.
that time also you took, and I don't know why, but you took time to teach me about self-motivation, self-esteem. You give me your talks. You will allow me to listen to people that you listen to on YouTube podcasts and all that. And that meant the
Right.
world to me, man, because we had a very nice also routine. We'll get our burgers, we'll go to the office, do our thing, we will have a one-on-one talk, listen to this type of things, and then everybody will go home and I will sleep like a fucking baby, to be honest, afterwards.
Yeah, it was like therapy.
It was very, very therapeutical, man. And then that, I think that's how our friendship started to grow, and it grew, and still I was like so scared of opening up because I had so much stuff bottled inside that when you told me, hey man, you want to come with me to get this phone, you were getting the new Samsung, I remember. And I was like, yeah, sure, because we had a 3 hour break. That was insane. That was also very different for me, that I would not understand. We had a 3 hour break, and so we went to get that phone.
We had a 3 hour break, and I was still watching movies in the morning. My bad. I'm
Excuse
Charlie,
that is
and I'm disgusting. Yeah, I know.
but but I remember, man,
Now I wonder why
man,
Meg
trying to be
hated me.
serious.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
I do
remember,
understand. Meg, if by some any weird chance you're listening to this, I do apologize. I didn't mean to have that type of laziness around your workspace. I really apologize for that. But I think that also that comes to deliver a lesson to you. I believe that you already understand. And that yes, I was the one bringing the numbers to the company.
yeah,
So I had some privileges. Okay, take care. Bye.
hell yeah, good message to our dear college friend. I hope she gets to hear this message. You know,
Mm,
But yeah, going back to our conversation, brother, I remember you opened up to me in that car in a very, you mentioned something and it was very personal. And that kind of like said, I said to myself, man, this guy is fucking amazing. And that was the day I decided to open up myself to you. But it was a lot. So I just like bombarded you with all this shit.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was quite something.
But you kept me sane during the last months in process make, and eternally grateful for you, bro. I learned a lot from you, and now like through this self progress that I'm doing myself, like many, I'm putting into play many of the things that you have taught me. But before we get into those details, I would love for you to tell me, how did you get into that state of mind, considering what you went through also when you were young, girl, because you're still young.
Thank you. I, I'm well, for everybody that doesn't know me, I'm going to turn 42 this year. But well, besides of my boldness, if I could get some implants or things like that, probably I will look like 30ish, 32 maybe. I lost like 25 pounds in the quarantine. I get my mindset into, okay, if you have the chance of having, um, well, the possibility of showing your kids that you can achieve whatever you actually get into your head. And if you have um, the heart to follow that idea and to focus and to do whatever it takes in order to get that goal, and not only because of the goal per se, but just showing them how you can execute things in a really methodical way, and actually you will be the one preaching whatever you need to to say to the world that you're going to get that specific goal or you're going to achieve that thing. So initially I took it from that way, and at the same time, and this is something that I learned, of course, from many scars in different levels, physical and also emotional. But if you're able to show that and to help a member of your family grow and understand from an early age that you will need to struggle sometimes, that actually life is tough, period.
Correct.
You need to take and you need to use whatever is at your reach to go up or to go to that fucking downwards spiral of doom and being lost. In order to get to that mindset, and just to complete what I was saying of my goal of losing weight and eat more healthy, and all the diet I went through and the preparation and my personal trainer and everything. So um, all those elements were blended in basically just to achieve a specific type of um, list of conditions, just to meet and to keep every time in order for you to take actually take whatever belongs to you. So many people in the world, and it was also my case, I got to the point that I was waking up, going to the mirror in the bathroom, and saying every day for a few months, you look so fucking fat. And those words can kill you. If you're talking shit to yourself, you will be shit. You will become shit. So, in life in general, I went to um, boys only school for 13 years. So we had like probably we were like 42 in our classroom, and we had at least 12 bullies in the same space all together, right? So 12 alpha males trying to get whatever they wanted. So eventually, you need to understand and you need to struggle with that. It's like being in prison. You know, the guys that are going to look for your back, or the guys that are going to get behind your back and they're going to fuck you up
Correct.
in the ass
Be
without your
very
consent.
specific about that.
You're not going to like it,
Yeah.
right? So if you're heterosexual, right? If you're gay, well, probably you will
Good
like
for
that.
you.
Probably will be okay. I have no idea. But yeah, the fact was that if you do that to yourself, eventually you will get either to a point where you're going to believe it, and you're going to truly go by that route, or you will say, "Fuck no, I believe that I can do better, I can be better, or I can grow better." So you start building that aspect.
Hmm.
I was lucky enough to get my hands and my eyes within the lines of David D'Angelo Double Your Dating book.
Okay.
That book was something else, and it was because one of my friends got divorced, and he was asking the same question every day: why me, and what the fuck did I do wrong? I might have done something that was killing my relationship and making my wife to look for somebody else. So that's actually the first step that probably 99% of the population um, will not take, right? They will say it was because of her, it was her family, and the influence of her friends, and you try to blame everybody but yourself. So whenever you take responsibility of the fucking actions for everything, then the light will come your way. So he said, okay, I need to understand psychology. So he started looking for books of psychology, uh, the female mind, you know, all the shit. Even palm reading things, just to understand how signs connect with others, and astrology, and you know, you can become really mystic whenever you're digging into that shit, right?
Yeah.
So he got to this specific book that said, "Oh, yes, it is your fault." Then at the same time, if you're not providing the confidence, the manhood that you need to show to your partner, in this case your loved one, yeah, she will find somebody else. Yeah, it's not because that you are not paying attention enough. It's not that you're being loving and caring and a provider, and that you do everything that you're supposed to do financially. If you're not bringing that spark, you're done,
I agree.
right?
Completely agree. It's funny because the mindset is so powerful. Your state of mind is so powerful. No matter what state of mind you're in, whether you're a good or in a bad one, it consumes you. And I was told this by a very important person through my process, that my healing process, you might say, that no matter, you can take all the psychology therapies in the world, you can smoke all the weed in the world, you can have everything and all the medication in the world, but if you don't try to change your mindset, that will be useless.
Of
Everything that you're
course.
trying to do will be pointless, will have no added value there. And that's what I learned, because all the time, like you mentioned, you blame everybody else, you blame the world. That was me 100%. At some point in
Yeah.
my life, it was me against the world. That was my mentality. I'm just me, and the world is against me. And I'm going to prove the world that I am who I am and they can go fuck off. I was so wrong because I was doing it, and so I was harming myself, not only by having that mentality, but also having that mentality made me to do many self-destructive things, many self-destructive things. And I
Yeah.
couldn't find any reason to say, hey, Lewis, you're a good guy, or you're a good person, you're a good father, I couldn't find any reason to say you're a good something. I looked at myself in the mirror, like you mentioned, and instead of saying you're fat, well, I'm already fat, but instead of saying that, I would say, man, like, what the fuck you're doing in this world? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
you are useless. Like, and then at the same time, it was such a toxic mentality because I thought that I deserved what I was going through at that time because all the stuff that I did in the past. Now,
Okay.
through all these things, through all this journey, I realized something, that even though I was trying to escape my past for so long, I was living in my past all the time. I just
Yeah.
couldn't let go of things. I couldn't. I was holding on to the bad memories like a fucking Rottweiler is holding on to a bone. I couldn't let it go. Today, I'm happy to say that I have let go so many things. I have made peace with my past. I can talk about my past, you know, and I have learned from my past. But it's not that like by me saying that's not that I'm done. It's not that, oh, I found enlightenment, I'm the supreme being, or no.
No. Yeah.
I'm just starting my journey. There's still a long fucking way to go. A long way to go. And through that journey, you learn from every step if you're smart, right?
Yeah.
You gotta
Even
be
if
aware.
you're making mistakes, or not, or probably you're just doing things right. So if you take it, on the same example, losing weight just to show your family that you are not able only to do it, but that you can make them understand that there are better ways. Okay, so if you do all the little things, and actually that's what they say, right? The beauty is on the little things, on the small things.
Mm.
If you do those things thoroughly, if you're really into and really present in the moment of achieving and every single step that you have defined, either for a week, for a day, for a morning, just trying to plan ahead, from grocery shopping to whatever. If you stay consistent, if you listen to your experiences from the past, if you prep everything that you need to take with you in order to achieve that step, all those things in the end are huge, are
Yes.
huge. It begins from waking up, going again into the freaking bathroom, into that mirror that won't tell any fucking lie to you. It will throw just shit on your face whenever it's ready to do it. If you go into that mirror and then that mirror is saying, looking good, staying sharp, you have your shit together, let's go and fuck them up. Whenever you are into that state, dude, you can do whatever the freaking, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
That is
Of
true.
course, there are limitations. There is the law. There's police. That shit. But you can do whatever the fuck you want. And
You,
again, it won't be the motivation, as you were saying, right? Money was not your motivator, right? It's just whenever you are playing video games. and you go to the next level and the next level and the next level and the bonus round. It's a game. It's a game, and people really struggle with the idea that it's just a game. It is just a game. They take things so seriously that that also breaks your fucking head. It will break your mind
Destroys you
because
internally completely.
yeah, you already have pressure from everybody,
Yeah.
society, whatever you want, right? Your parents, expectations, everything. If you are adding to that the self pressure that you can put on yourself, then you're wasting time. You're wasting time. That energy should be used to shut other people's mouth and say, yes, I can do it. Bring it on. Let's do it.
I completely understand what you mean, and I agree with you 100%. But it's just like it's unfortunate that people don't have the strength to say I can do it. Well, you can say it, but to mean it is different. You
Right.
know, it's just like, for example, I take myself back because I always speak from self experience. So I take myself back with those times that I wanted to say I can do it, and I would say it, I can do it, I can do it, it's okay. I would not mean it because it would just every word that would come out of my mouth would be fear behind it.
Right.
I remember one time I talked to you. We were outside in the office, and you told me my eye was twitching.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like. I didn't feel my eye twitching, nothing, man. And I don't like what the fuck. I was stressed as hell at that time. I was lost. I was very, very lost. I have to admit. And despite the fact that after my experience in Process Maker, I found a position that allowed me to earn more in terms of money. And it was quite immediate. I was quite lucky, as you remember. It was just like I remember I resigned from Process Maker, and then short after, it's just like I got this huge opportunity to work for this tourism company.
Yeah.
Man, like, and then I level things out. If you level things out today, for example, from those two, where would I grow more? I grew more in Process Maker, despite of all the shit that I was going through. Why? Because I'm a strong believer, brother, that sometimes in order to reach that mentality, that power, you have to be beaten down to the ground. You have to go through those hardships, and from there get back up stronger. And I feel that's what happened to me. I was beaten down. And I'm not saying the Process Maker beat me down. Fucking life beat me down. My mentality beat me down. My actions beat me down. You
It
know?
was mostly you. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it was
Yeah, it
mostly me.
is.
Because then again, I had this other job. I was earning a lot more. A moment ago I told you in Process Make I was looking for that security and stability. I could have it with this job that I had, with the job that I had in the tourism company. You
True.
know, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. It was like everything that I was doing at that time was so self-destructive. I almost lost my life. I almost lost my kids. I almost lost my marriage. I almost lost everything. And I
Yeah.
went down. And I'm gonna share something right now that is very deep in me, is very personal. When I came here the second time, there was one night that I decided to just end things.
Okay.
And I even planned it out. I planned it out. And then I remember before that, I was listening to the first album of Linkin Park. That was one of my favorite albums of all time, Hybrid Theory. And as you
Yeah.
might know, the lead singer, Chester Bennington, committed suicide. He was a guy who struggled with a lot of mental issues, depression, and all that. And I remember listening to all the songs, and shit, I understood them completely, despite of the fact that I have listened to that album over and over and over and over and over. I know the lyrics of every fucking song of that album. I know the number one song on that album is Paper Cut and so forth. It's just like I just know it inside and out. But I never understood it until I listened to it that night. I was like, shit, man, I understand why Chester is saying these things. What does it mean? And I'm not gonna say that Linkin Park made me save my life, because after that I even wanted like to continue more to okay, I'm gonna go to the forest. I'm just gonna do that, because at that time I was living very close to the forest. Uh, and we were at my mother-in-law's place because we didn't have our own apartment yet. It was me, my two kids, my wife, and my mother-in-law. So we were crammed up. So in the bedroom, I was sleeping with my oldest son, DJ, and he heard me cry, and he just like asked me, "Man, what's wrong?" And I was like, "No, nothing's wrong. Everything's good." It's just like, well, "You're crying, Papa. Like, what's wrong?" And I was like, "Everything's okay." I was just like, I was watching a sad movie, and then he touched my face and he told me, "Don't cry." That was it, man. That was it. That changed me and made me okay. I'm gonna stay in this world, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that after that I had this enlightenment. No, everything's a process. So after that, it took a whole fucking process. You know, it took a big process for me to reach sobriety, for example.
Right.
A big process, and even after a couple of months of being alcohol free, I still had that mentality that I needed alcohol to enjoy myself, let's say in a social gathering, you know, and everything. And I couldn't picture my life without alcohol. Not in a point that I had to drink every day, but in a point that by our culture, beer is in our culture, Charlie. Celebrations that we have amongst us, you gotta drink that paseña right there, you know?
Yeah. I'm a terrible example. You're talking about getting sober, and the fucking Charlie is
Nah,
drinking.
man, not at all. Not at all. And also that's what many people also don't understand. That, like, for example, drinking is part of the Latino culture.
It is.
Drinking heavily is part of the Latino culture.
It
That's how
is,
it
and
is.
it will be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people can handle it, some people couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. Alcohol is not for me. For example, you can handle alcohol. You don't behave like an ass when you drink alcohol. I did, and even and like I was saying that even after a couple of months of being sober, I couldn't picture my life with alcohol, without being into social gatherings and not have a drink. I was like, what the fuck? This is impossible. It's been over
Right.
a year now, my friend. And I can say that to everybody. It is fucking possible. And now you can
It
invite
is.
me to a party, and I'm still the life of the fucking party without alcohol. You know,
That's the beauty of it.
And then like you said, "Oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm drinking." I don't fucking mind. You do you, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't mind people drinking in front of me. It's okay as long as everybody respects that I don't drink. You know what I mean? Because
True.
I remember us Bolivianos, man, we have this thing that if the person who's next to us is not drinking, we make him feel bad. You know?
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
That's
how can you not drink with me? Come on, just one for me. Come on, how can you not?" And I was one of those persons, man. I will
yeah.
make you feel so fucking guilty for not sharing a drink with me. And then, like, for example, today, I think about it right now, like, man, I should start making feel people guilty for drinking with me. Not like right now, man. You should feel guilty right now. No, I'm joking.
No, I don't feel guilty at all. I could care less. But that's who I am. It's
It's
of
like
course.
no, I completely get what you mean. Is like, for example, a person that doesn't know you, that could come across like, man, this guy is like, okay, a little bit rude. But not me that
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
you and that you're like fucking Charlie. Uh, that's reality though. If you don't care about what other person is doing, especially when it comes to certain things, that doesn't mean you don't care about that person. You just don't
Correct.
care about that
Yeah,
activity. You
that's
know,
true.
people need to understand that. It's
I
just,
was read I was reading the other day a guy saying that COVID-19 and all this fucking thing that it's crashing the world will get to the level of the people against wearing face masks and the ones that are, of course, promoting that. And we will start a war because of that. And then, yes, we will fucking kill each other just because of some fucking face masks that actually they don't stop the fucking virus.
it's crazy how everything works in that way, man. Because yeah, it doesn't stop the fucking virus, and I don't know why people think that it will stop the virus. This is a form of precaution. This is preventing the spread. This is limiting the spread. It's not that because you're wearing a face mask, you're gonna be like immune from COVID. Like, are you? Come on, let's not be
Yeah.
stupid. Also, but unfortunately, like a lot of people have this mentality. The thing that made me laugh was some messages I saw on Facebook from Central America, Costa Rica, and Honduras to be specific. Central
Okay.
America is an extremely Catholic region,
Yeah.
very, very Catholic. And they're saying that COVID is the rapture, is like the end of the world. Jesus is coming, and if you repent to your sins and all that, you're gonna be COVID free. And man, how idiotic you have to be to believe that fucking propaganda, man. Like, are you fucking serious? And
Yeah.
because of that, people are like saying, I don't need to do quarantine. I don't need to wear the face back. God has my back. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good that you have faith. It's good that you believe in something, but come on, don't be a fool.
That's true. That's actually the best way of saying that. Right? If you have the capability of allowing somebody else to think for you, yeah, you deserve that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Please keep going.
I
Right?
remember, speaking of those religious fanatics, man, I remember my aunt. She's one of those. She's what's it called? Fuck, what's the religion? Adventista, like what is that in English? Adventist? No, like
Yeah, I think that it's Adventist or
okay,
something.
well,
I don't care.
and maybe she's not from that religion, but she's from one of those. Not to diss the religion, right? I'm not dissing it in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, my aunt, she's a very devoted woman to that religion, but to the point that it blinds her. To the point that she actually makes the comments that Allah, Buddha, and all those other figures are fake and they're blasphemy if you follow them and stuff like that. There's only one God, and she has that mentality. She has that mentality that homosexuality is wrong, for example. Smoking weed is wrong, even though their sons are heavy drinkers. That's a very hypocritical. But me having a conversation with her one time in the car is like we're talking about pop culture. We're talking about Miley Cyrus, and she makes a comment. That girl's a lesbian because she cut herself her hair short, and yeah, she's a lesbian, man. She needs to find God. I was like, what? That's fucking retarded. I didn't tell her that, but in my mind, it was like, that's fucking idiotic. And then like I asked her, like because she cut her hair short, she's a lesbian. Yeah, and then it's kind of like, and then she said it's kind of like when men wear earrings. As you know, I wear earrings. I don't have them right now. but I wear on both sides. And I was,
So you're a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian, and I was like, I wear earrings, so what
Yeah.
does that make me? She didn't answer. She changed the subject, man. It was just insane. It's how can you be blinded so much?
And don't get me started on your tattoos.
Oh, man. Oh man,
because
that was
because your skin is the temple of God.
exactly. And you will not enter the kingdom of heaven with tattoos.
Oh
You
fuck
know?
it.
It's funny because one of the biggest things of religion is try to stay pure until marriage, right?
Try.
Yeah, like that's
Yes,
one of the things. And
try.
she preaches that so
Yeah,
much.
actually, they're not saying. Yeah, and sorry for interrupting you, but it's like they say try. They don't say it's a must. They say try.
Well,
That's the
maybe
thing,
that's the loophole.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the loophole,
Dude,
because tell me.
if a priest is not able to keep his hands to himself instead of trying to harass some monaguillo or some children
Yeah,
in Bible school, right?
yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck religion. Fuck it.
I don't support religion in any way, shape, or form. I do have faith. I'm a man of faith. I cannot say I'm devoted. Uh, but it's just like how counterintuitive these people are, how contradictive these people are, and how they are pretty much think that they know a lot more than you, or they
Yeah.
know a lot more than everybody else. I remember in Honduras as a kid, my friends' parents were insanely religious to the point that they would not watch any media or listen to the radio because it's from the devil. And you go to their house and they have three fucking TVs and one big ass radio, but they just have it there. It's collecting dust. Like then what's the point of having it? And it's just like also that makes me realize that there's a lot of discrimination within the religion.
Yeah.
uh and unfortunately there's a lot of discriminate well there's a lot of discrimination out there, but one of the things that I have felt in my life, that there's so much discrimination between us Latinos, that is actually painful. I have lived in many countries that you have known. I have socialized and have close relationship with people from the black culture, Latinos, of course, and white people, Arabs, and all that. And I have felt the most discriminated by my own people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could agree with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it happens. And it's just a matter of like whenever your circle is not helping you, you need to change your circle. That's it. Because people can get
I
really
think in this
toxic.
case, we need to change our mentalities. And I say the word ours because I'm a Latino, proud Latino. So like we need to change our mentalities. One of the things that we do, man, and we do to each other is that we prevent each other from progress. We are an envious fucking culture.
It is. Yeah.
We cannot when we see another person thrive, we by the outside we say, "Oh man, good for him," but the inside is like, "Man, what the fuck? Why is he there, not me? He did something, or he's something." You always make it. We always make an excuse for why that person has reached success. First of all,
Yeah.
that's none of our fucking business. We should concentrate on how we are going to reach this success. You know. And second of all, man, does it really matter? Why can't you just be happy for the other person?
And I think that it goes far. weighed down on not only being happy of what the other person is achieving or what he's accomplishing. It's just that it doesn't fucking matter how he got there. He's there. You're
Ex-
not. You're not. What are you doing to change that?
Exactly.
If you're
And
not doing anything and you're complaining, you fucking suck. You do suck
correct.
because at least people from fear thrive. They say, okay, oh well, yeah, I'm getting old. Yeah, I need to pay school bills and I need to pay this. Well, yeah, fuck, yeah, I have to work, and they start working their asses off until they die, basically, because they don't have a purpose. At the end, it doesn't matter. At the same time, that if you have a purpose or not, just have fun, enjoy the fucking ride.
Enjoy the ride. Allow yourself to
Yeah,
make mistakes. Because one of the things we need
true.
to realize, brother, like we are humans. We will make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of life. It's okay to make mistakes.
And
And it's
learn
more important
from
if you
those
learn from
mistakes.
those.
That's
Exactly.
true.
But people like people think that they have to live this perfect life, and or at least the appearance is that they live the perfect life and so on, and that you don't make mistakes. Nah, man, that's not how life goes. And another thing, speaking of like how we Latinos put down each other, man, is the social classes is insane how marked it is. The high class really puts down the rest by
Yeah.
words, by discrimination, by race, whatever you want to call it, man. At least in our country, that happens. I notice in other Latin countries that happens. I notice Latinos living in different countries, in the United States, Europe, whatever. Between them, that happens. It's insane, man. It's crazy how that matter, how that is so influential. Another thing, for example, me and my wife, like my wife is university bachelor from Finland. You know, the education in Finland is very good, one of the top 5 in the world. Now let me ask you, do you think that had any value in Bolivia or Costa Rica when we were there? People didn't give a fuck about that or the work experience that we had. It was more, who do you know, what family you come from. Oh, okay. You know? And that is sad, bro, because there are like so many in Bolivia. There are very qualified people that cannot get good positions because they're not well off in the social circle. And
Yeah.
that's unfortunate, man. I wish there would be a way for us. Well, there is a way. There is a way. But we need to change that. We need to choose support each other a lot more, man.
It's I remember that I posted an Instagram story way back that was actually having the statement that Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, they had like two fucking nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
Two, like decimated people, children, everybody. And if you go to those places now, they're unbelievable.
Yes.
They're incredible people. They are grateful. You can learn a lot. And then you have Latin Americans still blaming how Spanish conquerors with Columbus got to the country and they took everything away from them.
Oh my God, Charlie, I was literally thinking about that while as you were talking. Literally, oh man, that's insane. Yes, it's crazy. How you call a resentido?
Resentment, they have resentment. Yeah.
Yeah, we have this huge resentment. We
They're
hold the
full of
grudge like
hate.
no one like no one can. When did that happen? Like 500 years ago, even more, I don't know. Colonization times, and we still hold the grudge. We still say, yeah, man, like we're not like that's good, but back in the day we were so rich. Bro, that was back in the day, man.
Back in the day, you had to give your wife for the emperor to fuck her up, to take her virginity, and if you're lucky, then you're not going to get decapitated.
And by the way, all that shit was done in the name of religion.
True. At the same time, I think that one of the key things for human development is just have a really mid-sized dark room whenever you don't have any type of access to light, to sound, or to anything, and you need to sit down there for a week, a month, or whatever it takes just to find your fucking self. If you find yourself, you have all the fucking answers inside of you. You do have them. You're asking the wrong questions. That's the main thing. If you take the time to listen to yourself, to the things that you say to yourself in the mirror, to the things that you say to others, to how you act, how you react, how you adapt to COVID, to having your best friend's dad dying because of that shit, because they were reckless, because they had a barbecue. So you need to then understand that all those levels, if you're absent of those realities and you're just going with the flow, you're done. You're dead already.
Yeah.
If you take the time to analyze every situation and try to do the best out of it, whenever you're having a discussion with your wife, with your kids, with a coworker, with your boss,
Yeah.
if you take things in all the corresponding, you separate things in all the elements that are building that thing together, that situation, then you have more ways of actually finding something that would be at least middle ground,
Correct.
you know?
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree, man. It's just awareness.
Awareness, right?
Awareness. Awareness is very, very important, man. Respect it as well, acknowledge it. Being aware is not an easy thing as well as people might think it is.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. And not, none of this, what we have mentioned throughout this conversation, none of that is easy. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta put in the work. If you want to be a better anything, you gotta put in the work. You don't expect by bitching and moaning about your situation and then being envious about others progressing more than you. That's gonna take you out of that spot that you're in. No, brother, you gotta put in the work in everything.
I remember I was doing some research and understanding better the psychology of MMA and all the things, right? And there was a specific interview to Randy Couture, and he reached,
Famer.
yeah, he reached one of his top levels of achievements and great fightings and everything whenever he was 43, 46 maybe. And they went directly to him and they said, okay, so tell us the secret, right? There must be a secret formula for doing that. Yes, there is. I go to the gym every Monday morning. Every Monday morning. You freaking new guys, you win a fight, you have your hands raised, you have the gold, you have the big fucking belt on your waist, and then you take a week off. You go to Ibiza, you chill, you drink, and then whenever you go back to the gym, you get injured because you're fucking inconsistent.
Inconsistency.
Yes.
Yes. Mm, you're very right. Yes.
That's true, man. And that's what fucking happens. If you are not consistent with the things that you need to do, even watching that fucking movie in the morning to get that right quote that will help you put the things on a personal level with a potential client,
Yes.
Yeah, that will make the fucking difference. That you need to do those things. You need to do the things that work for you. For the people that is sitting next to you in the bus, maybe would be something else. But what works for you, do that shit. That's
Exactly.
simple. Do that. It works for you, do it.
Yeah. Exactly. I completely agree. And like you said, it's that simple. For example, jujitsu has a great saying. You can go on forums, groups, jujitsu groups, and you will always see this question: what can I do to be better? And the number one answer that the jujitsu experts give, and it applies to everything, it's just show up to practice. That's all you need to do. Just show up. Just put in the work, what we're saying, man. You know?
Show up the time that you actually hated the most,
Of
but
course,
you
because
show up.
of course, if you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, that allows you to grow, my friend.
Yeah,
Think about it, like you said. Think about physical exercise. Let's say, for the sake of analogy, like the gym, you going to lift weights and everything. It's not a walk in the park lifting heavy weights, man. You sore yourself. Your muscles get like elastic, and you get strong. Uh, it's an uncomfortable situation. Imagine you're in the bench doing bench press, and you're lifting 100 to 150 kilos. That's not like, oh, I'm enjoying this. It's so beautiful. Wow. Okay, 20 more. No, bro, you reach number 10, you're fucking destroyed. But what happens? The progress comes in, right? Your chest is fucking hard, is big, looks nice. You look in the mirror. Hell yeah, man. You know what I mean? Same is
yeah,
put yourself in an uncomfortable position. That will allow you to grow. There's a great saying, man, by Humble the Poet. Shout out to this author. I'm going to send you that book. Humble the Poet. It's called Lord. He says, comfort zones are the enemy of growth. And that's
of
fucking,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking true, man. And it's as you were saying, and going back to my experience with WR dating and how that helped me to actually grow. Um, First, yes, understanding that you're the problem and you're the solution at the same time. So you do have the option, and you just need to define or find that specific course that you will need to take every single fucking step in order to get to the other level. But whenever I was going into that phase, and of course I was growing and I was understanding my limits, and testing your limits is what will give you the best results ever. Basically, as you were saying, you needed to, or you felt so beaten down that at the same time you said, okay, this is rock bottom, and the only thing that I have left is up.
Correct.
I cannot dig any deeper because, yeah, that would be insane. So you got to that level, you got to that point, that caress on your cheek by your child saying, Dad, why are you crying? What's happening? Saying that I'm here. I say, hello, I'm here. It's not about you. It will it will not be about you. So in that situation, then yes, you say, okay, I understand. I did my portion, I did mm, my part, and I fucked up. In order to grow, of course, you already know at that point what you need to do. So you start with the single little things.
Yeah.
Groom yourself, treat yourself better, fake it till you make it. That also helps. Sometimes there are guys like Gary Vaynerchuk or Tom Bilyeu that they say, no, no, it's not fake it till you make it. You need to put the hard work. You need to do this and this and this and this. Yes, being consistent with things that work for you. It's not a magical formula. No, yeah, there will be things that will work for you probably for a couple of days, and then you will change everything because you have the fucking right to do it. Whenever you get to the level of feeling that you have the right of changing whatever you need to change in order to make you feel better, do it. take action. So you stay consistent, you take action, you change the rules because you have the fucking right to do it, and then you keep going, but you keep going up, you keep going forward. You
Brother,
have
that's
been,
yeah.
you have been on the other side. Fuck it. That was making you miserable. If you
Yes.
want to go the other way, it's there for you to take. But you need to understand the small things that will get you there. You're already there. That's yours. The only thing is that you don't believe that you can.
Correct. That is true. Mentality, bro. State of
Yeah.
mind. Yeah.
When you believe that that thing is already yours and it's just waiting for you until you make the right steps in order to get to that level, yeah, that's the only thing that is saying no is here. It's here.
That is true. That is very true, man.
And that can kill your heart as well. You can have all the will to do it, but if you don't take action because this fucking mind is saying that you are not allowed to do that, you're fucked.
That is something that you I agree with you 100%. That is a great message, man, that you said. And with that message, we end this conversation today, my friend.
I know it. It's getting late here.
Yeah, man, you need to
I
go to sleep, brother, and I need to start my morning. But I
I
want
know, man.
to thank you for taking time and speaking with me, brother. I cannot wait for us to start working together,
Yeah.
and man, send my best to your family, hugs and kisses to your little princesses, and hugs and
Thank you,
kisses
man.
to you, brother.
Oh no, to you as well, man. And again, thank you for everything that is coming, and that I know things are going to get really, really crazy, really interesting, and at the same time, yeah, let's get the fuck out of the comfort zone and let's have some challenges. Let's have some struggle. Let's have whatever fucking life will bring to our table.
For sure,
We
man.
will
Let's just
we will
embrace
be able to
the
deal with
journey.
it.
Let's
Yeah,
embrace
yeah, yeah.
the journey.
Great, man.
And I cannot be happier to have this journey with my future VP of sales.
Thank you, man. No, I really appreciate again the opportunity and everything, and I hope that I can join for future podcasts as well, just to talk about things that actually matter, and at the same time, it doesn't even fucking matter. I have the hashtag in Instagram. It's IDM. Yeah, right. It doesn't even fucking matter.
I will check it out. Send me that hashtag for me to put it, because I have to admit this was a great conversation we had, and we have to do it again.
Yes, please,
All right, my brother. You have a good night's sleep. Take care, okay?
bro. Enjoy the rest of your day. Say
Thank
hi
you.
to Kiki and the kids. Okay.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, bro.